We'll send out the recordings to everyone so that you guys have it. So what I want to focus on today is really fourth quarter success secrets in the form of marketing and also just revenue generation, right? Typically, our industry likes to say the fourth quarter is the guys. We like to say that this is usually the slow quarter of the year. With that being said, I don't want you guys to think of this as a slow quarter of the year, because that means you're going to allow it to be the slow quarter of the year. We want to be strategic and proactive with what we're doing as far as acquiring new members, increasing revenue, all of those great things. So what I want to start with today is really start by talking about one of the most powerful events that you guys can do every year in the fall, and that is the trunk or treat. Now, how many of you guys have ever run a trunk or treat before? Just raise your hand for me. Cool. How many of you guys have ran it and gotten new members as a result of it? Okay, cool. I used to hate running events because I always felt like we put all this time and energy into it, and then we wouldn't get any new students out of it. So there was a long time where I was just like, hey, I'm done running events for right now. And then we figured it out. We figured out how to turn community events like trunk or treats into an event to get new members consistently. Last year, we had 1,000 families show up for our trunk or treat. On average, we paid about 34 cents per lead to get them there. So it's also one of the opportunities for you guys to get the lowest cost leads of the year by far. And here's the great thing, guys. Even let's say out of those 1,000, I think we had 25 people become members last year. The great thing is we also have another 975 leads that we can constantly remarket to for the rest of the year. So you're just increasing your database of leads that you can always go back and reach back out to shoot different offers. You'll see a lot of the people from the trunk or treat will also, the ones that didn't take action will end up taking action when it comes to your Black Friday campaign as well. So we're going to be touching on trunk or treats today. We're going to touch on Black Friday. If I have time at the end, I also want to touch a little bit on the holiday sale, because that's an easy way for you to add tens of thousands of dollars to your school without always having to cash out everyone or do pay in fulls all the time. So I'll show you guys what we do for that as well. All right, let's jump into it. I'm going to start off by screen sharing. And if you guys are agency clients, everything that I'm showing today in this webinar, you guys get for free with your membership. All right, so we're going to start with trunk or treat. We have a whole bunch of different assets for you guys, but let's start with the overview standard operating procedure here. If it loads, there we go. Okay, so when we think about trunk or treat, I'm going to go over like a brief overview, then I'll run through all the bullet points on here with you guys real quick. This is an event that we host in the parking lot of our strip mall. I encourage you guys to team up with the other businesses in your strip mall. They will want to be a part of it. The first year, we didn't include any of the other businesses, and they saw like how packed the parking lot was. And immediately the next year, it was like the easiest yes on the planet to get all these other businesses involved. And the way that we get them involved is they will actually just bring a car and decorate a trunk and hand out whatever they want at the trunk. So it's really, really simple. I personally don't charge those businesses for it because I'm thinking more of the long-term business relationship and how we can help each other with future things. I'm also big on giving value to those businesses first. So knowing that if I'm giving value to them first, it's a lot easier for me to get like a rack card in that business later on if I'm doing something to help them out first. Then you're going to have the trunks all set up. All the kids go around and they're going to get all the candy from the trunks. For us, we are doing this year a carnival inside of our school to get people to go inside. So they'll have the trunks outside. They'll have a bunch of carnival games inside, and it works out really well. The power of enrolling people will actually happen in the check-in process. So as people are coming in and checking in for the event, that's when the sell is going to happen for the memberships. And I'll go over that in a little bit more detail here in a second, okay? So let's start with this. A month ahead of time, which is pretty much now, what do you need to do? These numbers are based on our numbers of attendees. So just know that going in, these are based on 1,000 people coming. If you hear me say 1,000 people and you're peeing yourself a little bit, it's okay. You don't need to have 1,000 people at your event. You can cap it at whatever number you would like. The first year we did this, we capped it at 300 people, and it filled up in about 4 days once we started advertising it. And we'll get to the marketing aspect as well. But you need candy, lots of candy. So what we do is we buy candy, but we also put candy donation bins in our lobby. We pretty much just take a cardboard box, we decorate it like Frankenstein, and it says "Feed me" on it. And then we announce in the classes, we send out messaging, and people will bring bags of candy to throw in there. So that will help because you will go through a ton of candy at this event. We have a student sign-up sheet at our front desk. We also have 2 volunteer sign-up sheets. One is for volunteering your trunk. So parents will actually bring their own trunk. They'll decorate it, all that stuff to hand out candy. We provide the candy for them as a thank you for them taking the time to donate the trunk. We will also put another volunteer sign-up sheet for volunteers to just help with the safety of the parking lot, to help run the carnival games inside. So the parents that don't want to go all out and decorate a trunk, there's still a way for them to participate and be an active part of the event. For us, ours starts at 4:30, and by the time it ends, it's dark out. So we will also rent out floodlights for the event. You can rent them from U-Haul or any rental place in your area. We just rent 2 of them, so it's really well lit and as safe as possible in there. Definitely talk to neighbors. We also have trunk or treat bags we hand out to all the kids at check-in. So a lot of times they will want to put flags in there. Just a reminder, everyone, if you can mute your microphone. We'll put reminders in there as well. Let me just get this muted here, guys. Sorry. So with those with coupons or whatever they give you, we will throw those right in those bags. Okay, so we'll put those in the bags just to help support those businesses. If you've done this before and you had sponsors for last year, invite them back. We've had Kumon Learning there every year. F45 is a new one that's been there the last couple of years. Elevate Trampoline Park, as long as it's not a direct competitor, and also it's something that like sort of falls in line with what we do. Like Kumon Learning, definitely trampoline parks are definitely similar as us. We also we'll talk to fitness locations in the area because we're primarily catered towards kids. So F45, Orange Theories, those type of places, we'll invite to be a part of it. Ice cream stores, we have a Paletta bar in our shopping center that they'll participate in it as well. You want trick-or-treat bags for kids? We just order generic ones on Amazon. That's for the kids that forget their buckets. And then we do 2 contests throughout the night. So we do a costume contest. We also do a best trunk contest. So pretty much 20 minutes before the end of the event, we'll line up all the kids in lines, and we'll say, all right, if you think you're the best overall costume, line up in this line. If you think you're the scariest costume, in this line. If you think you're the funniest costume, in this line. And all the kids will get in line. Our coaches will go and we'll vote on what we think is the best for each line, and they'll present those trophies. For the trunk or treat, or I'm sorry, for the trunk voting, what we do is we take chalk and we number all of the parking spots. And then what we do is we give out a ballot to all of the people attending the event, and they will go through and they will just write down the number of their favorite trunk. So whatever space that car is in. And then we do usually the scariest trunk and the best overall trunk. And I think most creative is the other one that we do. The key here now is like, yes, putting on an event for retention is awesome, but let's get some new members out of this as well. So to set this up, you're going to need, we order 30 plastic Halloween baskets, just like those pumpkin baskets. You can get them from Amazon, Target has them, Dollar Store has them. And then what we do is we put a uniform in there, nicely folded. We put some sort of kids' Halloween book in there as well. We load the thing with candy. And that's what we have displayed at one of the check-in tables. So one of the check-in tables will have 30 baskets on it, all pre-done. And that's what we're going to give them when they purchase a trial at the event. There needs to be a physical exchange happening when they make the purchase. So they don't feel like they just gave you money and left with nothing. Okay. You can, if you don't want to use uniforms, you want to do t-shirts, you can do t-shirts. It's up to you. But I would have 2 physical items, so something they're going to need, something extra, and then throw some candy in there since it's Halloween. Also, if you're doing this in your parking lot, you do want to make sure that you're blocking off the area for safety. to make sure that kids aren't going into traffic, they aren't going in any dangerous area, to keep everyone relatively structured. Week before the event, just make sure you guys are communicating with your team. Make sure that everyone understands what their assignments are for their responsibilities throughout. You also, I would recommend having some sort of big signage, whether it's a stand-up banner, whether it's a sandwich sign that has whatever your trial membership deal is for the night of the trunk or treat on it, and have it big. Okay, so ours, we do 50% off of our normal trial membership. So it's normally $21. We just cut it down to $10 to make it easy. So on our thing, it says 21 days for $21 plus a free uniform. And then it's the $21 is X'd out. And then it just says $10 underneath. And then it says today only. So that way they know that they can't call us the next day and get the same deal. It'll help create urgency for the event. Another thing that you can do if you want to take this to the next level and add more scarcity to it, all you do is get a whiteboard, you put it on a stand, and you have, let's say we're doing 30 spots, you have numbers 1 through 30 on there. Every time you sell a trial, you are going to turn and cross out one of those. So that way everyone at the event can see those numbers dwindling down. This will get people to buy more, okay? Because they're seeing those numbers decrease on the board. So again, the 2 pieces of signage super important to have is have that sandwich sign with trial offer on it. I would also put a QR code on that sign that when they scan it on their phone takes them directly to the checkout link for the trial. The reason is it'll help to expedite purchases if they can do it from their own phone, because they have their credit card information. Or if you're using Apple Pay and Google Pay, which I highly recommend using, they can just double click, pay for it really quick on their phone, and it's not creating a backup in the line, if that makes sense to everyone. If that's not an option, have a couple tablets where they can purchase through a checkout page on there. But we used the QR code last year, and that made things go so much smoother because they could just scan and pay instantly. Okay, you also want to make sure you have enough uniforms for your trial baskets ahead of time. The first time we did this event, we made the mistake of not having enough. We had 12, and within like the first 15 to 30 minutes, we had 0. We went through all of them. We were just like scrambling and grabbing whatever we could to give to people when they were purchasing trials. So you don't want to be in that situation. You want to make sure you have plenty of uniforms available. We used to do a haunted house. We're doing a carnival. So as part of the checkout process, let me just explain how this entire thing works, okay? You're going to have 2 tables in an L shape for the checkout, okay? We have a branded canopy that we put these under. At the check-in table, the very first check-in table, okay, you are just making sure that everyone that is in line has pre-registered for the event, okay, which means they filled out an online waiver for us. So all we do is we just ask for them to show us their confirmation text message, okay? So they'll just show us on their phone that they got a confirmation text message. That's how we know that they signed up ahead of time and filled out the waiver, okay? And then from there, we say, hey, you're going to now move on to the next table. They're going to give you your ticket so you can go in and play the carnival games inside. So then they go to the next table, and what's at the next table? 30 Halloween baskets with uniforms, the sandwich sign with the trial, the whiteboard with the 30 spots on it. Okay, and then the person at that table is pitching every single person on the trial for that day. All right, so we don't give them the ticket till after we pitch them. It's just how it is. They have to listen to the pitch. It's like a timeshare presentation, right? You're getting this ticket once you listen to the pitch, okay? So then what we're doing is the conversation that's happening at that table is saying, hey guys, perfect timing. We have X number of spots left for our special today. It's usually $21 for 21 days and a free uniform. It's more than 50% off. It's only $10 today, and you get this basket to take home with you. Would you like to use credit card or cash? That's it. That's all you say. And your team's going to say that over and over and over and over and over again. The one thing you have to prepare your team for is you got to remember, if you have hundreds of people or 1,000 people at this event, they are going to have to hear no a whole lot of times. All right. And I remember even last year when I was at the event, one of my team members came up and they're like, I suck. I'm doing a horrible job. And I'm like, why do you say that? And there's like 5 minutes in. And they're like, we have no sales so far. I was like, all right, take a deep breath. It's been 5 minutes. And I was like, it's okay that we don't have a lot of sales so far. It's 5 minutes. You're just hearing no a lot, right? And then sure enough, they just kept asking and the numbers added up. But you have to prepare your staff to hear no over and over again. So one of the things that we're going to do different this year is when we role play with our team, them just going over that conversation, they're going to practice just hearing no from us over and over and over again until they desensitize themselves to hearing no on the sales front over and over and over again. Right? It's really just a numbers game. Okay, you'll have people that are interested in martial arts that'll bite, and I would set a goal for your team. I would say 20% of the people might be a good number to shoot for. I'm sorry, not 20%. I would say if you're going for 300, I would shoot for 300 people, which is pretty normal for most martial arts schools we work with. I would shoot for 15 to 20 enrollments out of 300 people. Okay, because that was pretty common for what we saw last year, especially with our mastermind clients that were running this. Pretty simple, and it can set you up for a great month as well. Okay, for your check-in, you want to look professional. So branded pop-up tent, branded tablecloths, make it look good. We have speakers out at the check-in table also that are playing like Halloween music mixes. And then we also have a microphone so that we can announce when there's contests. If we need to get everyone's attention for a second to give some sort of update, we have the ability to do that with a microphone. And we pretty much use those for all of our community events. So it's not like something that we're buying and only using once. You want to make sure you have something to block off the area that the kids need to stay in. We also will position volunteers and team members around the outside of these areas just to make sure there's no kids leaving on their own and that everyone's leaving with a parent. We also have our staff wear glow lanyards. So you can go on Amazon. If you just search glow lanyard, there's a whole bunch of them. But all of our staff has glow lanyards on with their name on it. So that way, if anyone needs to find a team member, they know to look for someone wearing a glow-in-the-dark lanyard. It's actually not glow-in-the-dark, it's LED, but same thing. Okay, we talked about speaker, microphones, Halloween trial baskets, the sign. I would recommend having an iPad on site just because you will have people that show up that didn't pre-register. At the end of the day, it's up to you if you still let them come in. We let them come in anyway, even if they didn't pre-register, but they do need to sign a waiver at the check-in table before they are allowed to go get their ticket to go participate in all of that. Generally what happens is you're gonna have a whole bunch of people register ahead of time. And then we find out that once the event starts and people get there, they start calling their friends and telling them about it. And then we have a whole bunch of people come that didn't register ahead of time. But just be prepared for that because it will happen. Talk about floodlights, trophies. We use trophy-depot.com. I would order those right away just because last year they sold out. And I think it's a good part because we send all of our clients to buy trophies from them. So don't delay in buying those. I also recommend having walkie-talkies for all of your staff members, or at least your key staff members. So it's really easy for you guys to communicate with each other throughout the night. It makes it so you don't have to run and look for people. You can just pick up the walkie-talkie and communicate to the team. You do want to assign your staff to certain responsibilities. Okay, so you can see that our main areas are check-in, trial sales. I recommend having at least two on each of those. Maybe even 3 on trial sales if you guys are pushing above 500 people at your event. So that way the line doesn't get backed up. If you're doing a carnival or a haunted house, we used to do a haunted house. It's just so much work. We'd be like putting fake drywall walls up and stuff. And we're like, hey, this year we're gonna do a carnival. You want to make sure that you have key staff members running that. We talked about people on the borders of the parking lot to keep the kids safe. Candy refills, you will need some people assigned to just checking the bowls at each of the trunks and make sure that the candy is consistently being refilled. You will also want someone going around taking pictures and videos of the event so you can use that for social. You can also use it then to market future trunk or treat events that you do or Halloween events. For us, we run this on a Saturday, starts at 9. We used to do setup at 9 a.m. when we had the haunted house. We don't do that anymore, so our team will probably be coming in around 12 to set up. Parking lot setup happens about 2 hours before the event, 2.5 hours before the event. Check-in begins 30 minutes before. We do our event, starts at 4:30, and we do it for 2 hours. 2 hours is plenty of time. It will go super fast, especially with the number of people you have coming to that event. After the event, we take all the pictures we took, we upload them to a Google Drive folder, and then we use that as part of our follow-up, which I will show you guys in a second here. To give you guys just an example of layout, this is from 2 years ago at our event. Okay, you can see some of the floodlights we have up. Everyone comes, they do whatever theme they want.
Guys,
For the event.
roughly 6.5 hours. That's so many.
Okay, just to give you guys an idea, nothing crazy. Well, I just want to see if it shows the line. So this is like 30 minutes, 45 minutes into the event, and there's still a line going everywhere. It looks like a well-run event. This is our check-in table. This is before we had a branded canopy, but you can see sort of the L-shaped tables on there, and then we have the line curving around. I would also recommend having your team know where the line needs to curve at, where it needs to go as it gets full, to give you guys some expectations of check-in. So I'll pause this when it gets. So that's just the number of people actually in the event. This is the line. You can see it's all the way in front of the school, and then it goes all the way out to the sidewalk by the street. So you can see there's still people. This isn't even the end of the line either. The line keeps going. So expect a lot of people. Okay, your team is going to need to make sure that they're very clear on what their roles and responsibilities are for the event. And if it's the first time you're doing it, expect controlled chaos, because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be controlled chaos, but you're going to have so many people in the community grateful for you hosting this event for free. And it also is going to pay you back in the terms of students as well. For marketing. Okay, marketing for this, there's one way to do it the best. Okay, we've tested a lot of different ways. For those of you guys that are agency clients, we emailed out all the steps that you need to take to get the marketing done. There's a form that you fill out. We set up a majority of it for you. The only thing you have to do is boost your posts. Typically, when you run ads on Facebook, you usually run them from Ad Manager, which is where you go to run all of your ads. We have found that Ad Manager doesn't do as well for community events as a boosted post. I have no rhyme or reason why, but every single time we've tested it, a boosted post absolutely destroys running an ad for the event. We have never had lead costs higher than 37 cents for this event. And to put that in perspective for you guys, across our agency, average lead cost, taking like the absolute worst lead cost and the best lead cost, okay, is about $17 a lead. Industry average is about $38 a lead. This event is getting us leads for 37 cents. It is ridiculous. Okay. We give you the copy to boost the post. All right. So I'll just show you guys this real quick, because I know there's some people on here that aren't agency clients, but this is what we use and it works. Okay. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't look like typical ad copy, but it works. Okay. So if you guys are an agency client, you're just going to copy and paste this when you guys run your boosted post. It'll be super simple. When you run the post, I like to go hard right out of the gate. I would recommend doing this about 3, maybe 4 weeks ahead of the event. It will fill up faster than you think. I usually will boost it for $20 a day, and I'll do it starting 3 weeks before, ending the week of the event. With that being said, usually 4 days in, it's full. 4 days in of boosting at $20 a day, it's usually completely full. We send them just to a registration page where they're going to register for the event. I know if you guys use like Spark or My Studio, you can easily create a checkout page that they can go through for that. It's free, so we just make it like a registration page for it. And then you guys already have a list of people in your database. Okay, for those, you want to market to people you already have as well. Because if they've been to your events before, they're a better chance of them signing up for a membership because they're already familiar with your brand. Okay, they know how you guys run event. They know how you are with kids. So you're gonna have a higher chance of converting these people that are already leads on your list. For those of you guys that are agency clients, we give you all of the emails, okay? And it's really just hyping up like why they're going to want to be there. So we always talk about like how many pounds of candy we have. We talk about the costume contest. We talk about the trunk or treat contest. We talk about the involvement of other businesses. Also, anything holiday related, always use GIFs and images that bring nostalgia to it. So stuff with Thriller, the Peanuts Halloween special, any way you guys can incorporate things from common fun holiday movies, shows, stuff like that, the more relatable it is to the audience. Let's go to the follow-up. Again, just a reminder if everyone can themselves. Okay, the follow-up. So after the event, let's say you get 20 people that enroll at the event in trials. That's awesome. But we don't want to give up on all the rest of the people because maybe they were too distracted by their kids to hear the full pitch. Maybe their spouse wasn't there to talk to them, whatever the reason, okay? So what we do is we follow up with them for 3 days after the event. The very first text is not an ask, okay? They're expecting that. So all we do is we send them this text on here. The only thing I add to this is I add a link to all the pictures that we took to that first text. I want to give value. So typically we thank them and we send the Google Drive link to all the pictures from the event. And we just put something like, here's all the pictures from the event. Feel free to look forward and look through it and grab any of your family. And that's it. We leave it at that. Okay. The reason we leave it at that is because we're using that text to set up the ask, which is the next day. Okay. So the next text that goes on the next day is, wow, we had a huge number of requests come through yesterday asking for more information about our kids program. You guys see why we don't ask in the first text now? We're sending this first text to set up why we're doing the ask. We had a huge number of requests come through yesterday. This is why we're going to ask now. So for us, we set up where they reply back with the word boo if they want more information. And then if you're an agency client and we're setting this up for you, basically what's going to happen is when they reply back with the word boo, it will automatically send them your checkout link. So it'll go automatically to them. Now, if the volume of people sending boo is really high, or if somehow they misspell boo, which they will somehow, it'll happen, you'll have to manually send out the link to those people that misspell it, or maybe they send back the ghost emoji instead of the word boo. Same thing, you'll have to manually send out the link. So I am really, really encouraging you guys to make sure that both the day after the event and 2 days after the event, you or a team member are readily available to be responding to text messages, because it will be like an all morning occurrence of you responding to text messages. Okay, you got to think, if you have 300 people, 500 people, 1,000 people at this event, you just send a mass text out to all of them. They're all going to be replying in different ways. Okay, also expect a sprinkling of stop and unsubscribes coming back as well, because there are some people that just went to it because they wanted a fun Halloween event and they have no interest in martial arts, and that's totally fine. Okay, but don't be surprised, because you just got to look at the volume of text that you're sending. You are going to get stops. You are going to get unsubscribes. It's going to happen. It's guaranteed. Then 4 days after the event, so we do a day break. We say, hey, just want to reach out one last time before we close out our trunk or treat trial special. We officially have 1 space left, 2 spaces, however many spaces, you can change it. Let me know if you'd like to secure the last spot for our kids' martial arts program. Okay, that's it. Right? We're not hard selling. We're not going to keep pushing after that. They'll go into our normal flows and stuff after that point. And if you guys have questions as we're going through this, please drop them in the chat and I'll go through and answer any questions at the end. Okay, last part that I want to touch on for this is the confirmation sequence. Okay, so important, especially when you're running free events, you need to confirm everyone that's coming. Right? If you don't confirm ahead of time, you're going to have probably about 30 to 40% that don't show up. Okay, which means if you open 300 spots and you have 30 to 40% that don't show up, that's like you're gonna have so much extra candy, you're gonna have so much extra help, and all of these things, right? So we found that when we confirm for trunk or treat specifically, we have a over 100% show up rate. I know that doesn't make any sense, right? What I mean by that is not only do the people that RSVP'd show up, but they end up inviting family members, they end up inviting neighbors. Okay, so we actually have more people show up than registered almost every single year. Okay, so when you guys do this, just expect that if I'm planning for 300 people, you're probably going to have 350 to 375 that show up as long as you are confirming them. So the first text goes out immediately just because they need a confirmation that their registration went through. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you remind them of when the start time of the event is and give them the address so that way they can just easily click it and it's good. We always use some sort of like GIFs going out with our text messaging for this because we want it to be fun. Okay, we want them to be excited. 24 hours before the event, we send another text with the little GIF of the kid saying, "I got a rock," and it's comparing that as normal trick-or-treating to what they're going to be getting at our trunk or treat experience. And then 4 hours before the event, another text goes out, okay, reminding them. Again, we're using fun GIFs and stuff, okay, and we do a part 2 of the 4 hour before text. So we'll send this, and then a text goes out about a minute later. It says, "Oh, I almost forgot. Here's the address just in case." It makes it feel human, okay, instead of automated. So that is what we use. Again, if you're an agency client, these will be set up automatically to go out for you. So you won't even have to remember to send them out. It makes it really, really simple. Okay, real quick before we move on to Black Friday, let's just go over any questions from trunk or treats. See, will this work if you're going to a town arranged event, not at our parking lot? That is a good question, Christopher. I've never done it that way, so I don't know if I'd be able to give you a good answer on that one. I know in the past we've had some schools that have teamed up with the town event, so maybe ask if you can co-sponsor it or something, and then that might give you more control of the check-in process to make it work. How do you get your shopping center landlords on board? We're getting pushed back at 3 of our 4 locations. Karina, in your situations, I would see how many tenants you can get to be on board with you. So that way you can send an email or contact your landlord with multiple locations in the shopping center. I'll be honest, for our current location, our first location, we emailed the landlord and they never responded. So we're like, we're just gonna ask for forgiveness instead of permission, and we started running it, and it worked. And then the first year we ran it, every business was like, how do we be a part of it next year? Because they saw the amount of people that showed up. And then now it would be impossible for the landlord to shut it down because most of our strip mall is involved in the event in some sort. So everyone in the strip mall is benefiting from it. Yeah, I don't know if it's right, but I'm always like, instead of asking the landlord, I'm like, I'm just going to do it and we'll see what happens. I'll usually just try and get as many of the businesses on board as possible. That's what we're doing at our new location because we have the slowest responding landlords in the world. So we're just going to do it with the businesses around us, and then we'll deal with it afterwards if they yell at us. Diana, we had 200 sign up and 1,000 show up last year. How do we make it clear that they need to sign up? That's a great question. So what I would do is I would make sure in the boosted post copy, Diana, I would add something that you must RSVP through the link in order to come to the event. You could even put in something that's like, we will be turning away anyone that is not pre-registered for the event in your your ads, and also in the actual Facebook event that you're creating and boosting. I would do that. Do you know if a Spark is able to send out GIFs? I do not know. Does agency client mean ad agency? Yeah, so if you're part of Relentless Media Agency, that's what I'm talking about. We do all of this for you and give it all of it to you. Do team members wear light up lanyards, and are they dressed in costume? So for ours, since it's Halloween and we want to make it fun for our team members, we let them wear costumes. They typically on their own choose to do theme costumes. Like one year they all dressed as the Care Bears. Wasn't my decision. I think they did like Power Rangers or something last year. So they wear their costumes and they all wear their lighted lanyards with it. Do you host this on Halloween or before or after? Great question. I will tell you our date this year is the 28th. So we usually always do it on the weekend before Halloween. That's just worked for us every single time. What do you do if you sell all the 30 trials and more want to buy? Do you just add another block of 10? Yeah, we will. If they want to keep buying, we will find a way to give them something to leave with so they purchase a trial. Absolutely. And even in the past, like the first year that we did it, Roberto, we even told people, we're like, hey, we sold out of our actual like kits that we put together, but we will make sure that we have everything ready for you at your first lesson when you come. And they were totally understanding with that. Our business is not a shopping center. We have a community parking lot and only one business on our block. Should we contact town? I understand that we should notify the landlord. Sorry if you explained it during the first 5 minutes. It's not in a shopping center, community parking lot. Ooh. You might need to contact whoever owns the parking lot. If it is the town, maybe just contact the town. The other option that I've seen people do is they've done it at like parks and then rented like the gazebo at the park so they could have the parking, and they've done it there as well. So that could be a possibility for any of you guys that maybe aren't in a strip mall for your business. All good questions. All right. I'm gonna move to Black Friday if you guys are good with that. Let me get to the right folder on the back end here. Okay, so Black Friday, there's 2 avenues that I would recommend going for getting new members. So there's a very traditional way, and what we do is slightly different. So the one thing I really want to hit home with everyone is Black Friday advertising. If we think back to Facebook 5 years ago, it was awesome because we could run like a Black Friday ad. Well, maybe 10 years ago, we could run a Black Friday ad over the weekend of Black Friday and we get like 30 trials like it was nothing. I know many of you guys probably remember those days. Unfortunately, now you got to remember that when we run a Facebook ad over Black Friday weekend, who are we competing against? Everybody. We're competing against Walmart, Best Buy, Amazon, like everyone that's running ads to moms on Black Friday, which is pretty much half the planet, is competing with you for ad spend on Black Friday. So we don't go all out just into doing a 3-day ad campaign because the ad spend doesn't go as far as we would like because of the amount of competition that's out there for that weekend. Okay, you got to remember that there are big companies that make their entire profit for the year just on Black Friday. So what are they committing to advertising spend that weekend? If their entire year's profit relies on that weekend, a lot of money, right? So we do, part of this is a database reactivation campaign. Okay, for those of you unfamiliar with that term, it just means that we are gonna market to the list of leads that we already have. The nice thing about it is we always get people to convert, and it costs us $0 to market this because we already own all those leads. We're not having to gather more leads. I recommend doing a different offer than your typical trial membership on Black Friday because people are expecting deals on Black Friday. They're expecting savings, they're expecting discounts, right? So with that being said, low barrier offer, I recommend either doing 50% off your trial special, or if you are just struggling right now, you just need to get people in the door, do a free 7-day pass or free 10-day pass. Okay, it really depends what the situation is within your martial arts school. Okay, if you're doing pretty good, I would do 50% off trial special. If you're like, I need to have a good November or else, then I would be running the free 7 or 10-day passes. Just make it a numbers game at that point. Okay. All right, email one, better than their deals. Okay, so headlines have to stand out like crazy during Black Friday just because your email inbox is going to get bombarded. Okay, just like everyone on your list, their inbox is going to get bombarded. So we need some subject lines that are going to head out, stand out. And all of these are doing is promoting scarcity and urgency for the 50% off special. Okay, we do a 24-hour special for it, combined of text and email. Okay, so and this is a good hint. Anytime you send an email that you want to increase the open rates of, follow it with a text message letting them know you just sent the email. It will instantly boost your open rates by 10 to 15% by following up with a text message, which is exactly what we do. So, hey, just emailed over all the details of our Black Friday 24-hour special. We only have 11 of them available. Put whatever number there is true for your school. Let me know if you have any questions. Second email, again, catchy headline. If you only open one Black Friday email, ... Again, it's just pushing the special. Like Black Friday, you'll get people to take action, but you have to hit them up enough times and strategically to get their attention. The one positive of Black Friday is everyone is in buying mood. Okay, credit card applications in the month of November are the highest of the entire year because people are preparing for holiday spending. So it shows people are ready to buy, but we need to get their attention. We need to just get them the information to get them to make that purchase. Text 2, we include a GIF in this one from Christmas Vacation. It's a GIF where they get the Jelly in the Month Club, and they're like, that's the gift that keeps on giving all year round. So it goes with the text. We send it out. Third one is the final hours to save. So it's letting them know they're almost done. The last email does great on open rates just because, look, your Black Friday order. You get that email, what do you think? Did I order something? And then you open it. Okay. And then it starts off, hey, did you forget something? And then pitches the special. These have strategically worked great over the years. I think last year we got 14 or 15 trials sold at 50% off for our first location. And it was most of it was done through this. Okay, the other thing that I'd recommend doing is boosting a post. Okay, instead of running it from Ad Manager, again, just in testing, the boosted posts did better than running the ads in Ad Manager. We have two separate ones. We have a traditional one and we have a really unconventional ad. Last year we ran both. The unconventional ad did better for us, and I'll show you guys the difference. Okay, so we have some Canva images that we give you guys. So that's more of a conventional ad. These are text ads. We have a stories version of that same one. Then we also have overlays. Okay, so you'll be able to put whatever image you want of your school students in the background. You can change logos. And then the one that did the best performance was actually this one for us. Okay. Notice if you guys think about Black Friday, everything's gonna be red and green or black and gold in everyone's ads, typically for Black Friday. Okay, so we're like, let's be the brightest, most colorful ad and go left while everyone else is going right. Okay, and like, yes, it's a unicorn with a black belt. You guys can change the logos and stuff, but it goes with the copy strategically. Color Black Friday offer a unicorn because you won't believe it till you see it. Okay, so it ties back in with the ad copy. We run the same special all through Black Friday. Okay, and then you can always just update this to be a Cyber Week ad too. So maybe we run this from Friday through Sunday, and then I go in there Sunday and I change it to call our Cyber Week offer a unicorn because you won't believe it unless you see it. Okay, and that's all I really have to change. And then the only other thing I would change is the text on here that says Black Friday. I would just go in and change that little part to Cyber Week. Like that way you repurpose the same thing. You don't have to worry about switching out a whole bunch of stuff. Makes it really, really simple. All right. Okay, so that's the promotion side. As far as what to spend during Black Friday and Cyber Week, I'm maybe a little crazy. I do $100 a day from Black Friday to the end of Cyber Week. I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I know I have to pay more to play bigger during the most busy time of the year on Facebook ads. Okay, so I know that since the competition is heavier, I'm going to have to up my spend temporarily for that. Now, with that being said, it actually sort of all works out because December, we usually cut our ad spend a little just because we know that lead cost is the highest time of the year in December. And we know that we're getting a lot of students from Black Friday, from October for the trunk or treat. And then we have a different referral contest that does really well for us in December. So we don't need as much ad spend. So me personally, I'm okay putting more ad spend in Black Friday Cyber Week in a boosted post format because I know I'm going to cut ad spend a little bit in December. Just what we do. Doesn't mean you have to do it. All right. Let's stop there for a second and jump in any questions you guys have on anything that we covered so far. And
Adam,
please ask away, guys, because I guarantee there's someone else on this call that wants to ask the question you're thinking of and just doesn't want to speak up.
you mentioned you're between Black Friday and Cyber Week. Now, what are you boosting then after the 24-hour Black Friday sale?
So we boost the post for the entire weekend, not just for the 24 hours. So that'll go Friday through Sunday. And then all we do is we just change the copy to say Cyber Week and the image to say Cyber Week for Monday through the next Saturday. And then it goes right back to our normal like evergreen ad that we run.
Okay, and it's still 24-hour. The only thing you change is basically the timing.
Yeah, we just keep the 24 hours on there just for urgency at that point.
Thanks.
Yep, good question. Let's see. Do you sell Black Friday offer for existing members? We don't do anything on Black Friday for existing members because we do a holiday sale, and that's where they can sort of get their savings. One thing I will recommend, if you guys do a holiday sales, do it before Black Friday. Okay, you want to do it before they spend their money on everything else, because then they're going to spend it with you. So make sure you're strategically setting up the date for that to be before Black Friday. Roberto, what is the link for info? It's relentlessmediaagency.com. I'll throw it in the chat as well. Okay, are those ad picks on Canva available for us to edit? So what I'll do, guys, is the Canva stuff I will throw in the chat right now. You guys are all free to use that, whether you're an agency client or not. The rest of the stuff that we shared, as far as like copy and setup and all that stuff, is exclusive for agency clients. But boom. Okay, so I just put the boosted post link in the chat so you guys can grab that. It'll give you access to the Canva files that I showed you as well, so that y'all have that as well. We always do first week in November for Xmas Christmas sale. We pair it with picture day. Yeah, I love doing that also. Let me are you guys cool if I jump into the holiday sale real quick? Yeah, it's gonna be like a crash course because we only got 10 minutes. So get ready to drink from the fire hose. All right, let me get to the right folder. Okay. Holiday sale. I'm going to touch on two things for this. One of the best pieces of marketing that we ever figured out is one thing I'm going to touch on with you. But for your holiday sale, I'm going to tell you guys how we do it. We don't do a whole lot of pay in fulls at our holiday sale. We'll do two. We limit it to 2 pay in fulls. And our goal is usually to get $25,000 to $30,000 in that day without any other pay in fulls going on. If we're at that 25 to 30 range, I'm super happy. I know some of you guys do some crazy deals. We don't have summer camp or after school, so we're not doing any of summer camp or after school deals, but that is a good time for you guys to do discounts on that stuff. The very first thing I want to go over with you guys is, let me get it up here, the holiday sale catalog. One of the best things that we ever did for our holiday sale was we created a catalog with everything that's available at the sale for our parents ahead of time. A couple things I'd recommend doing on the merchandise side is we always have 1 or 2 shirts that you can only get at our holiday sale. So we'll do a limited run just for the holiday sale. You can do it where they pre-order it at the sale if you're worried about getting too much inventory, and then you just make sure that they get it before Christmas. You can also do it where you just buy a set amount of inventory, and once it's gone, it's gone. So really up to you how you guys run that. This is our template. This is another school used this template. That's why you're not seeing any MX stuff on there right now. But one of the t-shirt designs they used last year was one that we used at our school, which was we paid someone on Fiverr to create a Minecraft martial arts guy. And then in Minecraft font, it had the name of the school on it. And that thing sold out so darn fast at our holiday sale. So doing things that kids are into on shirts is super, super positive. But you're going to have the catalog. There's a website called Place It, where you can take any graphic and put it on top of people. So if we go, you just Google Place It. It's really simple. So you see all of these templates that say like upload your image. You can just search like Christmas family or Christmas kid, and then it'll pull up a whole bunch of different options. And like, let's say I wanted to use this one. You literally can click, you'll upload your images, tell it which shirt you want it to be on in the photo, and then you download it. And now you have people wearing your branded shirt. Really simple. So I encourage you guys to use that. They have a free trial. Last time, like literally every year I'll sign up for the free trial. I'll get my images I need, and then I'll cancel my membership, and I redo it every year like that. It works. And then we want to make sure a couple of things. Have a general discount for students. If you have an upgrade program, I always encourage you guys to do maybe a slightly better discount for the upgrade program. I would also make sure that all of if you have like universal discounts, that it's the same all the way across. So that way your staff isn't going crazy. So I wouldn't do like 15, 20, 15, 25. Like if every item is a different discount, ringing that up with a high volume of people coming in is going to be the biggest pain in the butt. And I can almost guarantee there'll be a lot of mistakes made. So what I would do is if you're a student, you get like 15% off of merchandise that day. If you're an upgraded student, maybe it's 20 or 25, whatever it is, just make sure there's enough margin of profit that you are still making money on what you're selling. Typical with retail items, we take the wholesale price, multiply it by 2, and add the shipping cost that we paid on top of it. And that's what we sell it for. So that way, if we discount it 20, 25%, we still are making a profit on it. Okay, I've seen people lose money on their holiday sales. They over discounted. And what's the point of having $30,000 come in if your profit on that $30,000 is $2,000? It doesn't really help you that much. So just make sure the margins are where they should be on everything. Make sure you have prices listed on everything. I also recommend in your actual retail area, and when you have everything displayed, everything should have a price tag on it. Okay, how many times have you gone to a store and you were interested in something, you picked it up, you didn't see a price on it, and then you put it down, you thought about asking the person for the price, and you're just like, screw it, I don't need it anyway, and then you walk away. That's exactly what will happen with people at your holiday sale if everything is not priced. We ordered 500 prints on Vistaprint. We just took a business card and made it look like a price tag, printed 500 on Vistaprint for super cheap, and then you can order a price tag gun on Amazon for like $12. Okay, you just poof, poof, poof on all of your items, and it's simply to do it. Okay. If you guys are selling weapons at your school, I would recommend always having 2 sets of weapons available. You want, for weapons and sparring gear, actually, you should have like the basic version and the premier version, or the upgraded version, because you will have people that just want the best for their kids all the time, and they will always pay more for the higher quality item. Okay, and then you will also have people that just want the necessities, and that's it. Okay, but I'm losing out on money if I don't offer the premium version of the weapon or of the sparring gear. So giving them those choices will help to increase sales as well. The other thing that you want to do is any of these service-based items that you are doing deals on, you want to have those listed as well so people can know ahead of time what's available. So if you guys are doing camps throughout the year, day camps, we used to do like a day camp pass for the year, so they could buy an entire year's worth of day camps at a discounted price. If you do testing fees, we don't do testing fees anymore, but when we did at the holiday sale, they could pay up to their next degree of black belt and get like 20 or 30% off by paying for it all at once to the next degree of black belt. And then we put something on there. It needs to be at least 3 graduations. So that way the person right before black belt isn't getting 30% off of one testing fee. Parents Nights Out we do every month. So we allow people to buy packs of Parents Night Out. So they can buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack for 30% off. We actually tracked this last year. And for the people that bought the 6-pack, on average, they only attended 3 Parents Nights Out. Okay, we have this expire in a year. For the people that bought 12 packs, on average, they did just above 8, like 8.4 when we averaged it out, but just above 8 Parents Night Out. So they still ended up paying full price for the Parents Nights Out when you divide it by how many they actually attended. So it's a no-brainer to discount those. Same thing with seminars. I would do it as a pack. So prepay for 6 and save 30%, I think works good. We do, I think 10 or 11 a year. So that way they can just sort of select which ones they want from that. And they just get a little punch card that we give them with 6 on there. So when they want to sign up for a seminar, they bring the punch card to the front desk and we just clamp it. This is the only time of the year you'll ever see us discount tuition. If you know me at all, I am not big on discounting any tuition ever. I don't think it's worth it. We don't do family discounts at all for any of our memberships, except on our holiday sale day. And we limit it. I think we limited 3 or 5 last year. But basically they can add on a family member for 25% off tuition. We don't do 25%. We do 10%. This school did 25. One thing I want to encourage all of you guys to do, if you're doing pay in full discounts or if you're doing family add-on discounts, you cannot offer a discount without knowing what your profit margin is. So for example, a good starting goal for profit margins should be 15%. Good starting goal. Ideally, you want to be at the 25 to 30% range for profit in your business. Now, if you're breaking even every month, doing a 10% or 25% discount on a membership means you're losing money because you don't even have a profit and now you're discounting a membership. It doesn't make sense. If my margins are 25%, I can afford to do a 10% discount on tuition because I'm still collecting a 15% profit, okay, after that 10% discount. Is everyone staying with me on this? So I know it's tempting. It might be a good short-term fix for you, or you might feel like it's a good short-term fix, but in the grand scheme of things, you need to make sure that it's profitable across the course of the membership. You're not just discounting to discount. Like be strategic about it. Private lessons, great time to discount private lessons. This is probably something that we sell the most of. I would just make sure that you get a schedule ahead of time from each one of your coaches that want to be involved with this. So that way, as soon as they purchase, you can text them the schedule and they can start self-scheduling their private lessons with that coach. I would also limit the number of private lessons they can buy for each coach. Okay, because you don't want burnout to happen with one of your coaches because they're the most popular coach and everyone decided to buy private lessons with them. Okay, so limit it per coach. If you guys are doing birthday parties, same thing. Great time to offer a deal on those. I think birthday parties are awesome to discount. When we did birthday parties, we would do 50% discounts at holiday sales, and we would sell we'd sell pretty much all of them that we'd have available. I think we did 10 is what we put our limit at. But it's a good opportunity to get new students. So I'm okay not making a profit on parties the front end because I know we'll get new students on the back end from it. Okay, as far as marketing goes, I think if I remember correctly, we do every 2 to 3 days. We send out marketing. This is going to our current clients, our current members. We send it every 2 to 3 days, starting 30 days before. The other thing that we do at our holiday sale, which we're doing a little different this year, but it's well for us, is we do Santa, Elsa, and Anna at our sale. So we have them come and we'll have them in our classroom, and they'll be in there doing pictures with a backdrop. So that way it gets more students come to the holiday sale. Because even if the parents weren't maybe interested in buying stuff at first, they're going to show up for the photos with Elsa, Anna, and Santa, which means they're most likely going to buy stuff because they're going to see all the deals that you guys have there. Also, you want to make sure 30 days before your school is decorated for Christmas. Okay, it is way easier to promote the holiday sale and get people in the holiday spirit if you guys are actually having holiday decorations set up. Yes, you're gonna have people be like, "Oh, you have Christmas decorations up before Thanksgiving." Yes, we're those people, but it will help. Okay, and then at the sale, make sure you have Christmas music playing. We usually have like Starbucks will sponsor coffee for it. We'll have a thing of like hot apple cider. We'll have Christmas cookies out. And a whole range of stuff. We'll have some Christmas coloring sheets for kids. So that way, if mom and dad want to shop, the kids can do a coloring sheet. So there's some things to think about. Last year, maybe it was the year before, but I think last year my wife put together like little gift bags for all the kids. So they come in and there's like little Santa coloring sheets, crayons, and then like some stuff to go home and make hot cocoa with when they got home. I had like one of the chocolate stirring spoons and then like a packet of hot cocoa with the marshmallows. So you can also do some cool little giveaways for that. The last thing I would really encourage you guys to do is to make sure that you have a doorbuster gift or a doorbuster deal. It's funny, my wife attends bar classes near us, and she goes every year, and it's not just her, and it's gonna sound crazy. They will post up at like 4 a.m. outside the bar studio, like them, not just her, like all the people that go there. There's like a line of people outside at like 4 a.m. and they're there because of the free giveaways they get for being the first 25 people to go in. And guys, here's the giveaways, like sticky socks, like free socks people are getting in line for. Okay. I think they give away a couple t-shirts and stuff like that too. But have some sort of giveaway for the first 25 people. So like free gift, and make sure you let them know what the gift is. Because if you just put free gift, like it could be anything, right? They don't know. It's not going to get them excited. So we've done like water bottles. We've done branded Christmas ornaments for the first 25 people. You want to line outside your door, because then what you do is you have a line of people outside and you peek out like 5 minutes before and you video it, and then you come back and then you do a little tour of the inside, and then you post that in your student group. And all of a sudden, all the people that were like, "Oh, I'll go a little bit later," they see a line of people. They're like, "Oh crap, we should go." Okay, so it gets them to take action and get to your studio a bit faster. The email should all highlight the why of the sale. Like, what is the benefit for your students? Okay, so if you're doing pictures, yes, promote the pictures at the sale is one thing. But pretty much every email, we focus on a different benefit for them. So this one is just talking about the savings of the sale. You'll see some that focus just on, this one is just the services, the tuition, birthday parties, seminars, all of that stuff. And it just continues on. Each one is going to focus on something a little different. You see, we use a lot of Christmas imagery in the emails as well. Talking about new t-shirts. So any way you can tie it into any other popular Christmas theme, like the more attention you're going to get with it. Okay, but we have, I think, 12 emails that we send out. Then what we'll do in the next webinar is we're going to be covering one of the most popular Christmas things that we do that gets us bigger buy-in with attendance during December. So you don't have people taking the whole month off. And then it also will get you trials sold. I had one of our clients did this the first time last year, and they sold 17 memberships in December, which we know is statistically a slower month with our holiday class dash program that we did. All right, let's jump into any questions. The link says you need access. Sorry, guys, let me fix that real quick. Let me try this link, see if this works. Okay. All right, let's see. what is your December referral campaign? That is going to be our holiday class dash. I'll cover that in the next webinar that we do. Where do you order your catalog from? How many do you order? So we have like 300 and some students. So we usually order about 400 copies, just because people lose them. Also, grandparents want some, so that's usually works for us. Where do we get them printed? You can print directly from Canva now. So you can go that route. We have a local printer that we pretty much use for everything. So we just go local. Our sale period, we do 9 to 12. So we usually do on a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We close for classes that day and just make that day's focus the holiday sale. Cool, good questions. Any other questions on anything before we sign off? I apologize for going a little over with you guys. Did everyone get some good information from today's call on some stuff that you guys can go and implement and use? And guys, just so you know, all of this stuff has been proven and tested and used multiple times, okay? So everything that we covered today, it's not like thoughts or ideas or concepts. Like, we've done it and we've done it successfully, and we've seen our clients do it successfully as well. So it's not even something that's just local to our school. It's something that we've seen hundreds of schools have success with. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys investing an hour of your day with me today. Thank you for doing that. We have our next webinar coming up next month. The date for it is going to be the 18th. Okay, so it'll be Wednesday, October 18th. Will be the next webinar at 9 a.m. So just make sure you guys put that on your calendar. And then we'll be focusing more on December next time. Where will I be able to rewatch this? Jonah, we'll send out the recording link as soon as it's done processing after this, okay? You're very welcome, Miss Karina Isaacs. Thank you. All right. Have a great day, everyone.